Here's some notes that we can write down about inequalities. Feel free to pause the video if you need to get things down in your notes. Inequalities are like equations in that they have two sides, a bit like a seesaw, we've talked about this already, but the sides are not equal. So instead of an equal sign, we use one of these signs. Now let's just examine this word, inequality. If something's unequal, then it is unequal. And this makes sense because an equation is equal and an inequality is not equal. Now using these signs, these are very similar to each other. This one looks almost like an equal sign underneath, and what this means is greater than or equal to. This sign just means greater than. Over here we have less than or equal to. Now I haven't put labels underneath these signs on purpose because some people have ways of memorising these that actually lead them to being quite confused. If you just remember that this is less than, and some people say, oh, it looks like an L, that reminds them that it's less than. The problem is if you flip things around, because inequalities can be flipped, sometimes you can lose your understanding if that's the way you've memorised it. So let me explain. If we say that, say 5 is greater than 3, the easiest way of understanding this sign is to say that 5 is the bigger thing. We know that 5 is bigger than 3. And so the bigger side of this sign, the side that flares out, points to the larger thing. And the small pointy side, the little side, points to the little thing. Now it's important to understand it this way because if I was to write the same thing but around the other way with the 3 here and the 5 there, obviously now I need to flip the sign because the 5 needs to have the large side pointing to it and the 3 over here. So inequalities can always be flipped like this, and it's important to understand what's going on there. Now if you're given two numbers and you need to put the correct sign in, it's just a matter of having a look at the two things. You might have -4 and -6 and you need to put a sign. -6 is smaller than -4 because it's further to the left on the number line. So that means it gets the small end of our inequality and the -4 gets the big end. You'll see other inequalities like, for example, something that has a pronumeral in it saying x is greater than, say, 2. Now what this means is we're not sure what x is, but we know it's bigger than 2. So it could be anything that's bigger than 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be something like 2.3, it could be 100, but it can't be 1 because 1 is less than 2. Now if I was to add this extra little line here, this means that x can be greater than or equal to 2. So that's where that line comes in. Sometimes it's drawn actually like this with the equal sign on the bottom. So get used to seeing it in either way.